As they approach Chinatown, our heroes are blocked by two family henchmen at the gate. This encounter reminds Layton of Inspector Chalmy, and some questions he'd like to ask him. Aided by future Rook, Layton and Rook look for a way to return to the present to speak to Chalmy. Hello, Sophie. We are going back to past London. Let me see here. Yep, you've solved at least 30 puzzles. Seems you've done enough research to take your investigation back to your own time. I'm doing good. How are you, Sophie? Hopefully you'll learn something there that will help us clear up the terrible situation here. Yes, I hope so. Now then, Cog, if you would be so kind as to start up the clock. I hope you'll understand if I stay here. I don't wish to risk distorting the events of the past any more than necessary. I agree. Besides which, the poor Inspector's eyes would likely pop out of his head if I turned up with two Rooks. Wow, that actually sounds quite funny. Too bad you can't come, Big Rook. Okay, she's all ready to go. Let's get going. Here we are. I feel sick. Are you going to be alright, Rook? You look positively pea green. I feel sort of seasick. My ears are all stuffy and the ground feels like it's made of marshmallow. Ah, that'll be time sickness. The first jump I made, I didn't feel that very well either. Well, Cog, we're going to head off now and see what we can find out. Hey, Rain. Sounds good. I'll be here waiting for you. Just use that special knock and I'll let you in. Excellent. I was wondering how we'd contact you if we went back to your own time while we were out. Yep, that'd be a pain, alright. Now, you two should get moving. I'd like to get home in time for dinner. We are back in our own time. There's no doubt about it, Professor. We're back in our time. The surroundings here certainly do seem familiar. Phew, all this time travel has really worn me out, you know. Yes, I could do with a rest myself, but we mustn't keep Cog waiting. You're right, so shall we go and find Inspector Chalmey? That will be our second stop. I'd like to drop by my office at the university first. For a quick rest. Not quite. I need to check a few things before our meeting with Inspector Chalmey. Preparation, my boy, is the foundation upon which every good investigation is built. Right you are, Professor. Now that we're back in our own time, we can reach university in a matter of minutes by bus. Let's go, Wook. Bum 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 bum. Let's make our way back to my office. Now then, which bus goes to Gressenhera University? I have to admit that all this time travelling has got me muddled. What are we investigating now? Oh, feeling a bit disorientated, I see. I can hardly blame you. It's not every day that I travel to the future to meet my older self, you know. I think I could do with a bit of a recap of our case. Very well, let's go back over it. Do you remember why Big Root called us to the future? To stop the evil Professor Layton. And what exactly are we stopping my future self from doing? Oh right, we want to stop you, I mean him, from completing his time machine research. Precisely. And that's why you and I were headed for Chinatown. Oh yes, it's becoming a bit less jumbled now. We couldn't get into Chinatown in the end. It was at that point you said it would be useful if we could talk to the inspector. Yes, but at that time I had no idea we'd be able to jump back to our own time to question him. In that sense, I suppose we were pretty lucky, eh? Perhaps. Perhaps? Why, what's wrong? Is there something bothering you? There is, and it's something that we've come to investigate. Oh, we've just about reached our stop. We'll drop by my office and then it's off to see the inspector. You've arrived at the bus stop. Save your progress. Chapter 5. The Forgotten Case. I need to stop by my office to check something. After that, we'll go and find Inspector Chalmey. There you are, Professor Owl! I see you've cancelled our lecture again this week. Let me guess, you're off investigating another strange mystery, aren't you? Ah, Miss Stone. Hello there. Yes, I'm afraid that something rather pressing has come up. I'll be holding supplementary lectures later though, you can be sure of it. Oh, no worries, Professor Owl. As long as I get the credits, I don't really care. Now, what kind of attitude is that, Rosetta? If you want those credits, you'll have to earn them. And since your topic is the stone relics of Cornwall, I'd say you have your work cut out for you. As your supervisor, I insist that you check in with me weekly until your dissertation is up to scratch. I didn't mean to imply that I wasn't interested in my studies, and I'm very much looking forward to our sessions together. Not every gal has the privilege of receiving private tuition from the great Professor Layton. What I meant was that you should check in with me during office hours. Oh, you don't have to tell me twice, Professor Owl. I'll see you next week. Hehe. I don't know what that girl's up to, but it can't be good, Professor. Nonsense, my boy. It's all in your head. You can't fool me. Did you see the look she gave you? She's a man-eater. Whatever that means. Oh dear. Herschel, my boy! I've been looking for you. Hello there, Dean Delmona. Didn't you receive my holiday request? Oh, that. Yes, everything's in order there. It's something else that I need your help with. Well, in that case, please tell me how I can be of assistance. Come a bit closer, my boy. What I'm about to ask you, well, I wouldn't like anyone else to hear it. The thing is, I have this puzzle that I simply can't work out on my own. My darling granddaughter brought it to me, but I can't for the life of me solve the blasted thing. I can see how that would be rather vexing. Vexing would be putting it politely. It's hard to feel like the king of your castle when you can't even solve your grandchildren's puzzles. This is a rather serious issue for me, Herschel. It certainly sounds like it. Yes. So I think I can count on you to help me work this one out? But of course. Puzzle 48. One of 1,000. Right. How are we going to change? Boom, boom, boom. 100M. How do we change? Right, we need to move one match to. Right. Ten centimeters.
I've got a good feeling about this one. Well, that's settled.
100 meters becomes 10 centimeters. Oh ho, that's it. My granddaughter's going to be over the moon when she hears how clever her granddad is. I'm glad I could help. Likewise. By the way, Herschel, I do have one more small favour to ask of you. Certainly. Let's keep the fact that you helped me with this puzzle between you, me and the wall, shall we, my boy? Of course, you may count on me. After all, you've got a reputation to maintain with your granddaughter. Hoo-hoo. Perceptive as always. And what about you there, young man? Can you keep a secret? Of course, my whips are sealed, sir. Splendid. For that you have my thanks. One last thing, Herschel. There's a young lady in your office. She said she's waiting for you. I see. Professor, he must be talking about Flora.
Oh! Hi there, Flora. You two have got some nerve leaving me alone while you go off on another adventure.
Now, Flora, you know that wasn't our intention at all. While we were out investigating one issue, an even more troublesome matter arose.
What kind of troublesome matter?
We couldn't have seen it coming, Flora. Honest.
Really?
Of course. We would never leave you behind on purpose.
Wouldn't we?
Luke is quite right. Do forgive us for our oversight.
Well, okay. Just this once. But you two had better not leave me alone again.
Of course not.
What's done is done, so I guess there's no point in dwelling on it. You two must be awfully tired after all that running around. I just made a pot of tea. I'll go fetch it. Professor, did you just make a promise to Flora? Yes, I'm rather afraid I did, and unfortunately this is one promise I may have to break. Professor, that's terrible. You're always saying that a gentleman never breaks his word. Well, I didn't see you doing anything to dissuade the poor girl from coming with us, Luke. Besides, you know our current case is fraught with danger. I didn't want her to get hurt. We need to finish what we came here to do so we can find the inspector. We'd best move quickly. I suppose you're right, Professor. So what are we looking for? Somewhere in my office is a leather-bound notebook with a yellow note sticking out of it. Do you think you can help me find it? Aye aye, Professor. I'm on the case. Leave those drawers, Luke. I wouldn't have put it in there. These books are written by a famous foreign puzzle expert. Ah, I thought I'd lost this book. Is it under the hat? An English gentleman should have a spare hat ready at all times. These books are written by a foreign expert. That's the trunk. Is this the notebook you were talking about, Professor? Why yes, it is. Let's see. Notes on the explosion at the Institute of Polydimensional Research. Did you gather the information in this notebook, Professor? I did, piece by piece. Sadly, most of its contents have been removed. Hey, you're right, most of the pages have been torn out. It's been a while since I last opened it. Let's see. Well, the newspaper clippings are still intact at least. How old are these articles, Professor? I'll explain more on the bus. First we need to get out of here before Flora returns. Flora! I thought you might be hungry, so I made some cucumber sam. Huh? Where did they go? We're abandoning Flora. The baggage wasn't here for long, Sophie. Don't worry. All that stuff in your notebook, Professor? What was this explosion you were researching? It all happened quite a few years ago, when you were very small. Two scientists working in a physics lab accidentally caused an explosion during an experiment. The blast devastated the surrounding area. That must have been all over the news. You'd think so, wouldn't you? However, though many perished in the blast, a few records of the accident remain. What happened? That's something I'm still trying to work out myself. But answer me this, Luke. What is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of an explosion? Why, the explosion at the presentation of Dr. Stangun's time machine, of course. That was my first thought as well. I have a strong suspicion that these two incidents are connected. Why is that? Well, it's nothing more than a hunch at the moment, so I can't really say any more. Hey, Professor, this is our stop. Here we are, Professor. Scotland Yard. There's no time to waste, we have to find the inspector. You've arrived at Scotland Yard. Welcome to Scotland Yard, headquarters of the London Police Force. What can I do for you? We're here to see Inspector Chelmy. Could you let him know that we'd like to speak to him? I see. While the Inspector is always happy to meet the public, he is terribly busy at the moment. Furthermore, I'm under strict orders to issue this puzzle to all visitors. Where is this? In recent years, the city has been suffering from increasing accidents and crime. According to a survey, there's one place in the city with a higher average of injured people and deaths throughout the year than anywhere else. It's the hospital.
That should do the trick. Well, that's settled.
That's correct. Tremendous work as always, Professor Layton. Huh? Do you know the Professor? Of course, I'm a huge fan. How could any self-respecting puzzler not know the name Layton? I assume that puzzle was one of your own design? That's right, guilty as charged, heh. I couldn't pass up the chance to have Professor Layton solve one of my puzzles. I'll call to let the inspector know you're coming. His office is just up those stairs. Thank you very much. Nothing like a nice cup of tea to soothe the nerves. Good day, Barton. Oh, good day to you, sir. Barton, we wish to have a few words to the inspector, but I don't see him here. I don't see him here either. I was led to believe he was here in his office. Yes, he was. Then he got up and left. It was all very sudden. I am puzzled by his sudden disappearance. Barton, I sincerely hope you're not spreading misinformation about me. It wasn't 5 minutes ago I told you I needed to pop downstairs to see the Chief Constable. Oh yes, you did say that, sir. Use your ears, Constable. You'll never move up in the force if you don't learn to listen. Hello, Inspector. Ah, sorry about that, Layton. What a surprise to see you. Welcome to my humble office. Forgive the sudden intrusion, Inspector. I heard that you're reading the investigation into Prime Minister's disappearance. I am. And since it's you I'm speaking to, I'll be quite candid. This case has me baffled. Dozens of eyewitnesses, myself included, and not one blasted week to work with. Since you were there too, I might as well hear your take on things. Have a seat. I was interviewed on the day of the incident, but maybe another chat will uncover some new theories. We've already established that you were there when the explosion occurred. Yes, I certainly was. Then you must believe, as I do, that there's no way anyone could have survived that blast. Not the quack Stan Gun, not his staff, and though I hate to say it, not the Prime Minister. But what confounds me is that we haven't found a single trace of any of them. What do you mean? We went through the place with a fine-tooth comb and didn't find anything related to victims. No bodies, no clothing, and no shoes, not even so much as a pocket watch or a ring. All we recovered from the scene was the 10 tons of scrap metal that used to be the machine. No people. But there were 8 of them, sir. What? Did you just say something, Constable? There were 8 of them, sir. 8 people vanished. Ah yes, according to eyewitness reports, 8 people vanished from the scene. That group consisted of Stan Gun, a handful of assistants, and the Prime Minister. Now how in the world do 8 people just vanish? It's like a blasted magic trick. Don't worry, Inspector. From what I've heard, the Prime Minister is still alive. Ah, young Luke, be a good lad and keep quiet, alright? The adults are having a serious conversation here. If you're bored, why don't you and Barton go and play in the lobby? Inspector, I assure you Luke isn't making this up. There's a very real possibility that Bill Hawkes is alive. What? Well, don't leave me here scratching my head like a fool. Explain yourself, Layton. I will, but I must ask a favour of you first. And what would that be? Do you recall the explosion at the Institute of Polydimensional Research 10 years ago? What did you say? I'll take that as a yes. It is imperative that I see any and all case files on that incident. It sounds like you're onto something here, Layton. What do you know? Nothing at the moment, but I have a suspicion your current case is somehow linked to this old one. I'd like to help, really I would, but those files are sealed and require top-level clearance. Even a high-ranking officer like myself would have trouble getting his hands on those. I see. I'd hoped a man of your status might have the necessary clout to acquire those documents. Unfortunately, it seems I may have hoped for too much. I'm sorry to have asked the impossible of you. Wait just a moment, Layton. I might just be able to get you access to the case files. Excellent. I would be extremely grateful for that. Just one thing though, these documents don't come for free. I want to hear everything you know or suspect about the Prime Minister's whereabouts. Of course, once I've seen the documents I'm sure my theory is sound, every detail will be yours. Barton, head down to the archives and find those old files. Tell them you're there on my orders. Right away, sir. Those files can't leave the archives, but you can read them down there. Take the stairs down from the lobby to the cellar. Much appreciated, Inspector. Hello. Welcome to the archives. I've gathered all the case files pertaining to the explosion. Thank you, Barton. Your hard work has saved us considerable time. Yuck, these papers are all mildewy and covered in dust. These files are off limits to most people. You're the first to touch them in a long time. I see. Hand some of those over and I'll help you look through them. Where should I start? I appreciate the offer, Luke, but I should handle these myself. They are top secret after all. Oh, of course, if you say so, Professor. Welcome, Kai. Just a bit longer, Luke. I'll be finished soon. Don't you ever just get tired of the Inspector shouting at you, Constable Barton? Oh, it's not so bad. He only scolds me when he has good reason to, which is often, unfortunately. Oh. I make a lot of mistakes, so I get shouted at a lot. He's always telling me I lack insight and don't pay enough attention. He's absolutely right. I get distracted very easily and then I make mistakes. Am I Constable Barton? Oh, chin up, Constable. Everyone makes mistakes. I make them all the time. I have made some howls though. Just the other day, in fact, I found myself in quite a jam. Park the car. Barton needs to park his police car in the space indicated by the flag. When he encounters a cross, he has to turn left or right. When he meets a circle, he must keep going straight. Assuming he's not allowed to reverse the car, which route does Barton need to take in order to reach the parking space? So, meets the X. Restart. Meets the X, so he has to turn left. Circle is straight on. Well, left or right. So if he goes right here, straight on there. So left, straight, right, can't go that way. Left, right, straight, right, you can go right, turn right again. No, can't go that way. No, can't go this way. No, right, we'll try getting right from right, left, straight. No, can't go that way either. No. Go left here, straight on, right, go left, right, right, left. No, can't go that way. Right, try to get right, left, straight. No, can't go that way at all. Right, left, straight, right, straight, right, left, right. Hi, Gabe. Right, so we have to go straight here. Right, left. But try going backwards. So here he has to be right. If he goes that way, he has to go straight that way, left. If he goes right here, so he goes right, left, right, all the way up, left, straight, left. Let's try going this way. If he get, so he's gone left, can go. Hi, can I have a hint, please? Right, left, right. Straight. Actual, wait. That works. left, right. I think I have it.
Here's my answer. Phew, that's a relief.
One has to go all the way around the parking space in order to get there. All those hands seem to have confused Barton. He's written off the police car and the inspectors are not happy. Wonderful work, Wook. I bet the professor never has to shout at you. Well, the professor's not really the shouting type. It's true that I never leave a puzzle unsolved. I've got his reputation to uphold. Oh dear, I never considered the possibility that my quangos could harm the inspector's reputation. Don't worry, Constable. You try your best, and that's the most important thing. If only I could convince the inspector to see things that way. Wook, come here. I think I found what we're looking for. What is it, Professor? That file yielded some very valuable information, Wook. What exactly did you find out, Professor? Let's just say I'm very confident that the Prime Minister is still alive. The only way to save him, however, is to travel to the other London, where he's being held. You think he might be trapped in the future? Perhaps. This is something we'd need to discuss with the Inspector. Bum 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 bum. Well, Layton, did your investigation bear any fruit? It did indeed. But before I explain, please allow me a few questions. Inspector, were you involved in the investigation into the explosion at that institute 10 years ago? Yes, ages ago it was. I remember I had just been promoted to sergeant. I see. And do you remember the names of the scientists thought to have caused the explosion? Let me think. Ah, it's coming back to me now. One was called Aaron. Dr. Dimitri Aaron. Weren't there two scientists implicated? Do you remember the second scientist's name? It was quite a long time ago, you know. I see you're having some difficulty remembering. Well then, what about the victims? Do you remember anything about them? The explosion caused substantial damage to the area and destroyed a nearby block of flats. Several of the building's tenants perished in the explosion, as well as one of the lab assistants. Strangely enough though, I think that both the scientists involved in the experiment survived. That was very informative. Thank you, Inspector. Right, now I've got a few questions of my own. How do you think this old case relates to my current one? This is just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. No. But I think the Prime Minister is being held somewhere beyond the influence of Scotland Yard. Do you mean to say he's being held in another country? You may find what I'm about to tell you hard to believe. But I think Bill Hawkes is being held captive in the future. If this is your idea of a joke, Layton, I'm not laughing. I can understand your scepticism. Well, thank you for your help today, Inspector. Should I learn anything else about the Prime Minister's whereabouts, you will be the first to know. Come now, Luke, let's be off. Now wait, right there, we've had a deal. Sure you've got more for me than that far-fetched theory? Inspector, I've told you as much as I know at the moment. Now please excuse us. Back to the clock shop. Now that we've got what we came for, let's go back to the clock shop. Cog is waiting for us. Righto, Professor. Bum, 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 bum. You've arrived at the Midland Road bus stop. I suppose we have to head back to future London now, don't we? What's the matter, Luke? Are you scared of travelling through time again? Yes. I mean, no. As long as I don't have to do it alone. Of course not. I'll be right here with you. Our first step is to head to Chinatown to meet the future Professor Layton, I suppose. That's right. If my assumptions are correct, we'll find the Prime Minister there as well. Do you think we'll run into trouble along the way? Considering the warm welcome we received from the family at the casino, I'd say anything's possible. Luke, there's no telling what kind of dangers await us in the future. Maybe it would be best for you to remain here in our time. What kind of apprentice would I be if I left you to face those dangers all alone? I'm coming with you, Professor. Let's go. save your progress.